Hello there, and welcome back. Oh, well, should I say welcome back? Welcome to
Mm.
the first, I think, Talking Leeds match reaction with me, Alfie, and Gerry McNamee. Now
Yeah.
we've come over, we've had our release clauses triggered over the summer, and we've moved over to Talking Leeds
Yeah.
temporarily while LS11 goes into a wee bit of a hiatus, Gerry, would you say, just while
Yeah.
it's undergoing some restructuring, a change
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
ownership,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah,
rumored.
we're not. We should get Prague in. That man does deals in his sleep, doesn't he? I think he actually is sleeping at the moment. But is there? Can you get a release clause from being a Leeds fan? Because sometimes you just want to. You just it's why do we do it? How do we get in these positions? Um, but yeah, it's good to get the band back together. It's good to see it, and yeah, we got plenty to talk about. Unfortunately, not much good stuff, but that's it's good therapy, as a lot of people say, and probably for us, and then we can move on to another defeat, which everything feels like at the moment.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. Well, yeah. Before we get started, Gerry, a good break was had. Did you watch the? I saw you got over to Ireland for the. I'm going to get this completely wrong.
Yeah.
Some kind of, or was it the All Ireland
The
final?
All Ireland football final, and it
That's the
was
one.
my county, which is Armagh, and we're a bit like Leeds. We've only ever won it once, and we've had a few near misses, but we somehow got tickets because there was 250,000 people looking for 80,000 tickets, and somehow got them, and it was a great day, great release. Another shirt to wear, an orange shirt, which was weird, but we had a
Hmm.
good time. The Olympics was good to watch. The Euros was fun. And now back to watching normal TV, and all of a sudden I could do it another month from the football, but
Yeah.
it was yeah, we're back in it, and it's feels like winter all of a sudden, and a very cold winter it's going to be, and a very long winter. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, the lads have already talked about the Portsmouth game on the other show, and obviously
Yeah.
a lot to unpack there. Cracking game, let's just
Mm.
say, and then straight into you would say sort of a good chance. I like the cup games. I like having a cup game at home because as a
Mm.
member, you sometimes you miss out on a lot of tickets for home league games. It's a good chance for people to go. I've got family over from the States. It's been 5 years since they've last watched a game at Elland Road, and
Yeah.
we were treated to that performance, Gerry. Up
Yeah.
there with some of the worst you've seen in Leeds.
It was pretty bad. There was some Australians in the ground yesterday as well. It was their first visit. Oh, I've really felt for them, but it was so bad. I mean, it started okay. The team came out, and we had three players left from Saturday, which we thought was, yeah, we not normally do. Our Fark doesn't normally do that. But I was thinking before the game. I know Sheffield United made 11 changes, and I was thinking, oh, who would our 11 players be? And I couldn't think of the whole 11, and that shows how small our squad was. But game started okay, and Joffrey and Aronson on the wings, and Joffrey made some good inroads. He was getting to the byline. I thought Aronson doing okay. But we started like we did against Portsmouth a bit when we had a couple of chances Firpo missed, and we just can't convert. And as the game wore on, the first half, Middlesbrough just settled down. The two banks of four, and not hard to defend against Leeds. We just keep running into walls. And towards the end of the first half, I thought Middlesbrough on top here, and they're going to score. And we the players disappeared. And sure enough, in the second half, I don't know what's happening with our defence because Joe Roden. Well, it's like when you go to one of these sales and they're selling you videos and oh, these be videos. Yeah, that shows me age. Selling you all the top equipment and it's dead cheap and good, and then you get the bag and come home and it's something different. And Joe Roden's a good player, but he's dreadfully off form. And the first goal, I mean, the guy waltzes past Aronson. He just goes like that, and he cuts inside, and he splits our defence completely, and it's 1-0. And then 2-0, and then 3-0. And we were at sixes and sevens. And you go through the team. I think Darlow, I can't fault him. He had no chance in the goal, made a great save. Rodon, totally off form. Max Emilian Vober, the what you call him, the warrior. Well, Max, you should just toddle off with your spear and your shield because you didn't look interested last night. I was watching him close. He's doing okay. Absolutely. The guy's got no interest. He sodded off last year, and as far as I'm concerned, he can sod off again. I'm not normally that critical of Leeds players, but his heart's not in this club, and
No.
he showed his heart last year, and he's shown it again. Firpo, we think he's okay. He's not good enough, and I'm fed up. Really, he was out of position. He was out of position Saturday, out of position yet last night. Sam Byron, average game again. We were getting caught midfield. Ampadu has got to learn. You're central midfield. You're not the centre half. Stop coming back because you're leaving a big gap in there. I thought Rothwell was but our only decent player. I think he's got a bit about him. Joffy disappeared, and I think Joffy. I love Joffy, and I really want him to do well, but I don't think it's going to happen at Leeds. Aronson started well, looked weak in the second half, disappeared. Pirro, okay at the start, peripheral, disappeared. Pat Bamford, I'm sorry, Pat, it's over. You don't look fit, you don't contribute. You haven't got the pace. I know you weren't getting the service, but he just when he did, his touch was poor. Didn't create any chances. Matt Clark, who played against him, is a run-of-the-mill championship player, had him in his pocket. So go through the whole team. These guys were put in to put their hands up to this is your chance to show, and none of them did. They just and it shows how small our squad was. And then 2-0 down and make 5 substitutions while your goalkeeper's injured on the ground. And Daniel Farke today, I listened to the press conference and he sounds a bit peed off, but come on, Daniel. Plan B, there was no plan A there last night. And we saw you've won 3 games in 14, and we keep seeing it. And just throwing 5 players on like that, that it looked ridiculous. So fair enough,
Yeah.
you could see the quality in Strike and Willie and Ruter and all these, but this thing of just wait till the 70th minute and just panic. It's not good enough. And the pressure is on Daniel now. The pressure is on because we've got 4 tough games coming up. And the club, we've sold our best players and nothing much coming in. Where are the owners? Why aren't they telling us what's going on? Because they like to, fair play, give us a yellow shirt with a smiley badge on it. But we need players coming in, and you've sold 4 of our best. We knew we'd lose some, but the Georgie thing. These guys were in the building. We can blame Orta, but these guys were in the building when that contract was signed. They knew what was in there in Georgie's thing. Georgie probably didn't want to leave, and they could have renegotiated that. So where are these guys making the deals? Because I don't see them, and we've got all this money floating around. Do you need to talk to the fans? Don't send Daniel Farke out to talk about sins and everything else. And that last night was unacceptable, really was. Against Middlesbrough made 7 changes. My mate with me last night, he was a Borough fan, and he was saying, these guys, he's not done so well. This is his chance. They made us look idiots, really did. Sorry, sorry, I'll let you in there, Alfie, but I'm so angry today. I'm just fed up with Leeds doing it again. We need to be better than this, a better club, and we got 4 hard games coming up. And I'll tell you what, if we don't at least win 3 of these, the pressure is on, and the fans. We are patient, and I think we're sensible, and we know what it is. But these guys promised us. They said we are in a position to compete. Last year, different. Yes, we had a lot of turmoil, owners coming in and everything. You've had all summer, and they've not planned for the championship, and we can see that, and we're getting fleeced. So other than that, the pies were good last night, though. They were much better.
Yeah, I was going to say actually, last night was the first time I've ever used the pre-order pint system at Elland Road, and I always look at them thinking, what is the point in that? That's ridiculous. Why not just have another bar? Yeah. Actually, brilliant, great idea. There's no queuing at the bar. You pay, you go straight, pick it up. Brilliant. I thought that was really good. That was about as good as it got, and that was before the game.
They've painted the toilets. That's another one. Yeah.
I did notice something about the toilets actually. They seemed a bit nicer. Some of the I was in the East Stand, and I think some of the cubicle doors have been replaced. Maybe that's where all the money's gone. I don't know. That seems like an expensive job. Nice new hand dryers as well, I think. There.
There you go.
I think you are absolutely spot on there, Gerry. There is a lot of anger flying about at the moment, and last night I think the Jorginho Ruter thing, and obviously for anyone who hasn't seen it, if you've been living under a rock with regards to Leeds United recently, Brighton activated Jorginho Ruter's release clause about 20 minutes before the deadline, which it would expire. If they had tried again today, they would have had to try and renegotiate a price with Leeds. And they've activated the release clause of £40 million, which guarantees just a £5 million profit on what we paid for him. Absolutely mental. I mean, putting in release clauses, you can completely understand that, but why would you sign a player for 35 million and put a release clause in for 40? But even put 45, 50 even would have been the minimum, because then you guaranteed a decent profit there. £5 million profit is not good enough. And I think that has sparked a lot of anger. I'll be brutally honest, Gerry. If that hadn't have happened, I probably would have been like, do you know what? Forget, move on. Let's just see what we can do. I thought, as you said, Farke went too far the other way with the substitutions. We're complaining about him not making any. He just went too far the other way. It's as if he sort of said, like, okay, fine, I will make substitutions. Here, have 5 at once. And then, honestly, yeah, I was looking at Darlow and thinking, oh my God, as if this couldn't get any worse. We're going to have to play, Strout's going to have to go in goal. And that would have been peak Leeds. Obviously, then, you're thinking 2-0 down. Here we go. Let's try and give it a good go. Straight away, absolutely no difference at all. They're 3-0 up and it's game over. And then the atmosphere just started getting toxic. And it's been a long time since I've seen that. There've been a lot of poor performances I've seen, but a long time since the atmosphere just really turned, and booing the team while we're in possession, and booing even just like a little turn away. Rothwell I thought looked tidy last night, probably our best player last night, I would say. And I didn't think he was particularly good, to be honest, but he's tidy enough. But there was one moment where he tried to, we were going forward, the momentum was sort of going forward, and he just turned back, and then all of a sudden he's getting absolute pelters. It's there's something rotten still at that club, and it beggars belief, because successive changes in ownership have created numerous false dawns where we think, right, we're okay, okay, Radrazani, we've finally got a guy who understands it. No, gone. 49ers, right, here are guys who know how to run a football club, and then absolutely gone. Pressure massively on Daniel Farke, but I cannot believe for a second that he isn't absolutely fuming with the board and saying, where are the players that you promised me? I just can't believe that. And I might be giving a bit too much credence to Farke. I think he's a nice guy. He had us playing some fantastic football last season. He's got the track record. But, we are now, once the Jorginho Ruter move goes through, the biggest sellers in the world this summer. No other club has sold a higher value of players. And we've spent 15 million, haven't we? Because Rodon, I think, cost 10. And Bogle for 5, but obviously Rodon you can sort of write off in that we already had him. So we've got 2 weeks, and to give you a bit of an introduction to the two of us, if you haven't listened to us on LS11 before, we are quite patient as Leeds fans go, and fairly positive. And we spent a large portion of last season going, let's see what happens next week. Let's see what happens in the next game. And I would say, Gerry, at this point, I don't know about you, I am just about on that side of the line at the moment. If we can turn up a decent performance against West Brom, who did actually get knocked out in the week, but had a good first game on Saturday, then I think we will be in a position to look at that and go, okay, let's bring in some players now, and just see where we're at on the 30th. But at the moment, you just can't see any light anywhere, can you?
Well, we're not in the grand scale of things. The Carabao Cup, we're not really bothered, because Man City will probably win it, and we missed out on a home draw against Stoke, and that wasn't the point. It was the nature of the performance and the performance of some of the players. That was the thing, and all the stuff that's going around. I suppose if I'm optimistic, I think we've got plenty of money. There's no doubt about that. We've got. And surely FFP, we must be well ahead of that now. Surely we must be. And I know clubs will know we've got money, but we should be going out there, and they need to make a statement this week. And nothing's happening. I know the club don't do their business openly, but this Jonathan Rowe thing has drifted on, and then there's other players out there. Jack Clark's been mentioned, Sammy Smodic. So that's the quality of player we need to be getting in, and we need to do it quickly because we haven't got a strong enough squad, and the way we're playing, it's too easy to shut us down. We can't finish. Last night again, I saw the goal that Portsmouth scored, the first goal where the guy was left on his own on the right side. I saw that exact move last night, and we still. I mean, I don't know what's happened with our centre half. Joe Rogan, he was caught out. He was playing left back when he was caught for one of the goals. But again, he's a good player, so I'm okay. He's come around, and I think it's not as if we're going to go bankrupt or anything. I think we gotta strengthen because we've got a squad at the moment of 19 now, and we probably. I think Wilbur. I think he'll go. I never thought he'd stay. And Willie, we don't know, could still go. So also we could be down to 16, including 3 goalkeepers. So seriously, we got to strengthen the squad. We need 5 or 6 players coming in. I'm running out of time, and we don't want to be scrabbling around on the last day. They need to do it now. And surely the club knows that. And you could see from the questioning today from Adam Pope and the other guys in the press conference that I thought they expressed it well. There's a lot more questions to be asked. Why aren't we hearing from Angus Greer? Why aren't Prague? You like it when there's good publicity around, but you've got to say to the fans, don't worry, this is in hand. We've got business lined up and everything, and just speak to us. We're not stupid, but don't just ignore it and go quiet. And because we can see it's not good enough, but on the pitch it's not good enough, and that comes to the manager as well because he's fallen really short in the run-in since the international break in March, and we fell badly short. Teams could play around us, we couldn't break them down, and that's got to be better, and we got to be not walking into the net. So the team will probably come out on Saturday and against West Brom will probably be the one that started last week, and better players without Georgie, which is a shame because he's not just as a player but just as an energy around the club. It's so sad that we're losing him. I don't know. Could he have stayed? Has he been offered mega bucks? What do you do? It's a difficult one. And
I think it's something with that. You can't begrudge him of it, can you? I don't think, and I haven't seen any negativity towards Ruter because I mean, to be honest with you, if he had gone last season, he would have been not public enemy number 1, but there would have been a lot of negativity because it's sort of like you're the club record signing. Yeah. You've got to help us at least try and dig us out of this mess, and he did, and he didn't have to do that. And I think this year, he is absolutely head and shoulders talent-wise, raw talent-wise, anyone at that club, and anyone since Rafinha, and quite frankly, he's up there competing with him. Maybe not quite that polished, but certainly just a fun player. He's worth the price of admission. By himself. I have no doubt that he was going to make that decision, and we wish him well, really. But yeah, you're absolutely right. There needs to be more communication, but at the same time, I think any communication now will just be like, stop talking, get things done. And unfortunately, transfer business will not be conducted now until next week because it's Thursday now. The teams are now building up to the weekend, so any potential players will be in squad plans. Clubs that are potentially looking to sell X player might say, talk to us on Monday, kind of thing. So they've kind of, I think, from a purely business point of view, they've kind of got to batten down the hatches a little bit until Monday. But as soon as Monday comes, we need to have something, anything, just any player who's free, or the PFA did their free friendly. Did you see that? They do it every year now. They get in all out of contract players around sort of the EFL. I think it's the top 5, top 6 divisions. Romain Sawyers is there. He's 32. He's past it. But do you know what? Get him in on a bare bones contract for 6 months and just let us have something that we can cling on to.
There's talent there. You see that Latte Lat from Middlesbrough.
Oh, unbelievable player.
Someone we should be getting in. That's the sort of player. And just announce a signing. But it's galling when you see the likes of Calvin going to Ipswich. And Rutcher going to Brighton, and whoever players going to Bournemouth, and that's just that shouldn't be happening to us. So fair enough if someone goes to Man City or Liverpool or the other lots, well, they never would, but yeah, you can sort of see how that works. But it's galling to see that, and it just shows how far we dropped. And as somebody said, that 140 or 130 million, that's what losing to Southampton has cost us. And the club need to be upfront. If we are in financial difficulty or we are up against it and we had to sell those, tell us. We can take it. We're big boys and girls. Just tell us. Don't bullshit us and pretend you're doing stuff and you're giving us smiley badges and that. That's all peripheral. We need to see a team. And if we lose on Saturday, it's going to be a bit toxic in that way. And I can tell you that. Yeah. The Leeds fans we're patient, but we're not for being messed around. And that those standards of performances aren't good enough. And even the squad of 18 we have now, there's a few more players can go, but we've lost 12 players. We've replaced them with 3. If Giroud was there, it's really worrying. And at the moment, going up is automatic. I think we will struggle again in the playoffs with what we've got and how we played, because we were exposed. Portsmouth, we sort of thought was its first game, bit of a fluke and everything, but it wasn't. It wasn't from what we seen last night. And that it wasn't as if we put the youth team out. There was about 1,000 appearances on that pitch last night. All those players are experienced. There was no young lads on there, players. So there really needs to be something happening. Happening. Or I have to say again, great support by Middlesbrough. Two games where the away support was brilliant, but that shouldn't be happening. We should be dampening that down straight away. But we can't have Borough beating us. They don't beat us. Can't have that. Had them having a good day. But fair play. They knock them. They did well, and we need to. We know what needs doing. You need to appease the fans, because we are the heart and soul of the club. So absolutely. I'm not happy at all.
No, neither am I. It's just depressing. It's grey in Leeds today. There is very little to be happy about. But you know what? Hope springs eternal. Hopefully, this can be used as a massive wake up call. If there was anyone in that boardroom who actually thought that was a good enough squad to go into the rest of the season with, I don't think there's any left now. That it was laid bare last night. Every single problem that we have with the team right now was maximised last night. So, but you never know. Tricky game away at West Brom on Saturday. So we'll have to see what happens then. And then next week is going to be crucial, because you let another week go by without signing players, and then you're getting into the panic buy phase. Prices go up, negotiations take longer. But you know what we are, Jerry? We are optimists at heart. So we've got to just keep going and see where we get to.
Yeah. It's one league game in, and one bad cup game, and a lot of players sold. There's a long way to go, but we really got to set ourselves up to be ready for it, because this, as the squad stands, it's not enough. It really isn't enough, and players need to look at themselves as well, because that's not good enough. And after such a good pre-season and the way we played against Valencia and everything else, we thought this is good. But you all need to look at yourselves, from Melier right through to the front line. They all need to step up. In fairness, the guys come on. Rutter hit the post last night. That was a great shot. And Willie looked really up for it, and Strike looked decent. But the other guys just, it just wasn't good enough. Some of you need to move on. And I'm sorry, Pat, you've been great. You've been, that season in the Premier League, fantastic. But was it 14 goals in 74 games? That's not good enough.
Good enough.
You don't look mobile. You don't look fit, and I don't know who'd want to buy you. Sorry.
No, neither. I think that's the issue, isn't it? We may try and sell him, but who would take him in the league?
I've had enough, and he'll go out and score a whirly on Saturday. I hope he does. I hope he makes me eat me words, humble pie. I hope he doesn't go, sod off. Look at me. I'm on a roll now. I scored 10 and 10. Great. I'd love it. I love what he's done with Leeds and that, but I just thought, I looked at it last night and thought, this is not working. It's not happening for you, kid. Do your podcasts and way out you.
and we'll continue to do ours.
Yeah.
But there we go then. Yeah, Leeds fall to a thumping defeat at home to Middlesbrough. A lot of lessons to be learned. 2 weeks left of the transfer window and a 12:30 kickoff again on Saturday away at the Hawthorns. Well, I don't want to say inform, there's only been one game, but a good looking and an always tough West Brom side at a place where we always lose. So we'll just have to see what happens. Thank you again to Gerry for joining me on the new platform. Been a long time since I've had to say this, but if you could show a lot of support to this fledgling new venture, probably subscribe. Check us out on Twitter or X and all stuff. You'll get a bit of us. You'll get Aaron and George and perhaps a couple of other guests as well. I've just sort of come into this, so I'm really not sure on the details myself. But appreciate it if you drop us a watch or a listen, and we'll hopefully see you again soon.
Buy some players.
Yes, and buy some players.
Yes. Come on.
Come on.